I think we're going to have a great relationship. He called me up yesterday. He said, "Let's make a deal." You know, he was running for office. They both hated Trump, and it was the one that hated Trump, I think, the least that won. I actually think the Conservative hated me much more than the so-called Liberal. He's a pretty liberal guy.
Wait.
But no, I spoke to him yesterday. Couldn't have been nicer, and I congratulated him. You know, it was a very mixed signal because it's almost even, which makes it very complicated for the country. It's a pretty tight race. But he's a very nice gentleman, and he's going to come to the White House very shortly, within the next week or less.
Let's go to Canada. The best result there for the Conservative side in some 37 years in terms of votes and seats. But they still lost. Not only that, the guy we all admire, Pierre Poilievre, he lost his seat. Now, it's tough there. It's first past the post. There were some 91 candidates in the race, God forbid, Terry. But, I mean, Trump was the third candidate in this election.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I don't think he cares. That's the thing about Donald Trump. I think he was focusing entirely on his own agenda and didn't realise that there was collateral damage north of the border. And he's going to take out one Conservative leader on Monday, and there's this possibility he'll take out a second one on Saturday, which I think is absolutely appalling. But in terms of the election result, yes, the Conservatives there did very well. I mean, basically, they just got just short of the 42% that the Canadian Liberals got. But the other side of it is that Pierre Poilievre, who I think is the best leader on the Conservative side of politics around the world at the moment, got done in his own seat because of those 91 candidates, and possibly because he didn't spend enough time looking at his own seat like John Howard used to do. But look, I think Donald Trump was a huge factor, absolutely, because Mark Carney, as the incoming clean-skin establishment man, I can deal with Donald Trump, Pierre Poilievre as mini-Trump. He was not in Parliament a second. He's only just got into Parliament, so there's no record for him to actually worry about. And he was able to claim that he was a new government. There was a change of government.
He sells himself as a banker, but he's not. He's a lot more than that. He's a climate zealot, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly. He's a hardcore ideologue. I mean, he's championed central banks to do something about climate change for years, which is of course ridiculous. They're meant to be controlling inflation, which was not controlled very well, by the way. But yeah, they really have. I think they've made a terrible mistake, Canadians. I think that they're going to regret it. The Trump factor is going to fade away, and then the other costs, the other issues will come back, housing and energy, which are just as much a big issue in Canada as they are here. So I think his popularity will fall pretty quickly in coming years.